I think the biggest difference between the WPI experience on IQP and a traditional study abroad program is how closely we work with a real-life sponsor in the field on a career-like project.
It gives you a real-world problem to go and solve, and you can actually make a difference somewhere.
We don't take any classes here. We make our own schedules, and it's up to you to get all your work done. It just prepares you for the real work life.
On this IQP, you really take that first step towards using all your knowledge to solve a real-world problem. You get to see like the whole process of a real-world problem versus something out of just a textbook.
We actually implement their recommendations often right after their leave, or even sometimes, like in the case of this sound analysis group, the Quiet Days, like they're out there piloting them right now, and we may just continue on with them.
Working with a real sponsor who cares about what we're doing, who can essentially use what we are producing for them to better inform them in their decision making down the road.
Our project will have an impact on Acadia National Park and on the park's ability to manage traffic.
This will benefit Acadia by just improving the visitor experience, because every year the sound is moving away from the natural soundscape.
They will come back in years from now, and they will see that the work they did at the park actually changed the park and is leading to further change down the road.
If we implement what we're doing, it'll definitely improve the tourism here in Bar Harbor, and it'll make it more accessible to everyone for a better night sky view.
At WPI, when students are exposed to interdisciplinary learning, it opens up a whole new horizon of possibilities.
Working on a team with people of different backgrounds has more to do with skills and strengths than it does with their specific knowledge and background.
Having different people from different backgrounds just helps bring the whole project together. For example, one of my partners is a computer science major, and I know nothing about computer science, so he wrote all the programs to analyze all the data.
Everyone's got different ways to solve problems. For big problems like this, you really need to attack it from every angle. So that's been really valuable.
In the real world, I believe that most problems that engineers face are inherently unstructured and vague. And having done this IQP, I have a better idea of how to approach vague problems, set goals, and achieve results.
The main challenges with our project are that there isn't necessarily one perfect solution.
The approach that we think is most appropriate to solving the problem isn't necessarily what we end up deciding. Sometimes in the back and forth with the students, we come to a much better approach.
When there is no structure, I thrive. And being able to say that on a job interview is something I would not have been able to do if I had gone to a traditional school where projects are not the focus.
The human element shows up more often than I was expecting.
You're not just doing this engineering project where you're designing, a machine to do something. You're designing, a program or a set of recommendations based on people.
Doing this project, working on noise pollution in the park, I was surprised by the amount of sort of psychological perspective that was involved. A lot of the research that we're doing is about people and not about parks or sounds, but it's about people's reactions to them.
I feel like I've grown a lot since coming here, and I've never done a project like this before where it's been so open to our interpretation.
This experience is just really giving me a greater appreciation, really, for just a lot of things, like just what the National Park Service really does.
It becomes a magical process seeing how they evolve over the summer. By the end of the summer, I think they know they've evolved into the experts on their subject area.
The interactive qualifying project experience is so different from experiences on other campuses because we get 7 weeks to be completely immersed in an environment, completely immersed in a project.
Personally, I find that I work really well in immersive environments generally. To be able to focus on just a few things at a time, that's very useful for me. I like to do my work in long blocks of time.
WPI has many project centers around the world, and what's common between all the project centers is the immersive experience that you get when you're there.
doing it off campus allows you to immerse yourself in another culture or somewhere else in the world while also gaining that internship experience and that real world problem solving.